guys, welcome to Mentorship Monday. Just gonna give it a couple of seconds for everyone to join. So sorry that we are running a bit late. We're having some technical issues with the live today. So welcome. Oh my gosh, it's so nice to see so many people on. Welcome to Mentorship Monday. We are so sorry. We are running a few minutes late. We've been struggling to get onto the live on the new page. This was supposed to be on the Mentorship Monday page, not on my personal page. So my sincere apologies. Thank you so much. Chokoza says, Nama filter do help. But thank you so much. I decided to rock big earrings today because I was like, you know what, big energy, big starts, season 2 of Mentorship Monday. So here we are. Hetty, hello to you. Let's say our big hellos. It does feel so good to be back. It feels like it's been forever and a day, right? Bushle, hello. Euphemia, hi. Let's see who else is here with us. Sands is hi. Bubele is here. Umnath is here. Mandisa is here. Mo Shaban is here. Mabena is here. Hello, guys. The strategy maven. Oh, that's an interesting one. So looking forward to connecting with you. Pume, hi. And the others, Pume Zondo and this Pume Lungwane, both of you are on. I've just got my team pinging our guest because he's probably on the Mentorship Monday page. So yeah, we've just had some issues. Tabani, hi to see you. Mandisa, good to reconnect, guys. It's been so amazing. If you're not in South Africa, I want to send you, there he is. So Adebola is here. I want to Kenya is in the house. Hi, Kenya. Hi, Ivy. Thank you for being here. I just want to accept Adebola. I know he's here, and my brother is here.
It is so good to see you.
Adebola, how are you?
We couldn't catch up in Davos, only to end up on live.
I missed you in Davos, and it's so nice to see you here in the signature red hat. But we just, before anything else, we have to do things the right way. Can you please give us our flowers while they are due as South Africans? Give us the congratulations for Tyler. Give us the congratulations for Bafana. Like, I'm waiting for it.
Listen, I already introduced your flowers on my last post. I said congratulations because I knew that there was no way we were not going to start from there. So first off, congratulations to Africa. Congratulations to South Africa. Even though I think that if the Grammys wants to give, I think Tyler should have been on just a category in the Grammys. She should have been on the world category. I think it was unfair that it kind of sort of created, this African category. And then, like, the song was globally popular. It was big in the USA.
So, Adebola, you're cutting off a little bit, so I'm missing you a little bit. I just want to make sure that we can hear you, we can see you. Can you just check your network connectivity for us, just for 2 seconds? It's just cutting out a little bit, and we want to make sure that we get our congratulations proper.
How's it better now?
No, it's not better. It's not better. Do you want to jump off and then jump right back on? We'll be happily wait for you just to make sure that we can hear you and see you because it's really cutting out. Okay, so Adebola's off. He's gonna come right back on. We really want to chat to him. He is an absolute maverick when it comes to all things branding and personal branding and fixing brands that have gone bad. I'll talk a little bit about how I know him. But for those who've just joined us, welcome. If this is your very first time on Mentorship Monday, welcome. This is season 2, meaning that you've missed season 1. So you've got to go to our YouTube page. It's Mentorship Mondays, or just look me up, Noziko Shabalala, on YouTube, and you've got the whole 40 episodes of season 1 uploaded and waiting for you to go and watch them. So please, we really want you to catch up. Season 2 is going to be next level. As you can see, we're starting off with the powerhouse. We're starting off with Adebola Williams. If you don't know Mr. Adebola, I don't know. Obatayo is saying, Mr. Adebola is my mentor. And I think to a lot of people as well, Obatayo. And so we're really hoping that tonight he is able to mentor at least 100 people in the time that he's got and allocated for us. So if you're first time here, thank you so much for being here. If you are a regular, welcome back. Welcome back, family. It's been a full month actually, because almost 2 months, because we last had a mentorship Monday in November. We took the whole of December off. We took the whole of January off. My friendship is saying, you look gorgeous, Noz. That's good coming from you, because I did my own situation to try and look good for you guys. And of course, it's just, I'm trying to come up with big energy for the new year, and because I'm really excited about us connecting together once again in the year. So I've taken some time off, while I wait for Adebola. Let me tell you a little bit about that. I stopped working, I think on the 9th of December, which is kind of crazy, and completely just decided to rest hard. Went away with my family, spent a full month literally in hibernation with my husband and my son. We had friends visiting, we had family visiting, but for the most part, it was just about resting hard. And so, it's so good to be back. I'm so excited about our guest for today, because as Lightman Studio says, he's my role model. I love him and all that he represents. We're going to unpack a little bit what he represents. But Adebola, I had the privilege of meeting him and journeying with him for a full year in 2018. He was part of my tutu class, and he is the guy you go to when you need to be branded. And he's the guy that presidents go to when they need to be branded for their political campaigns and things of that nature. So you can imagine that we're bringing you the best that there is in the world. 2024 season 2 of Mentorship Monday is going to be all about just going big. Our big theme this year is all about Africans on the global stage. So we are literally focusing on Africans who are doing amazing things on the global stage, putting the spotlight on Africa through their work, through their craft, through their passion, and we're bringing them to you on Mentorship Monday. So it's going to be a bumper here. So I can see Adebola's put a request in again. So I'm going to see if we can accept him now. Let's see if we're going to get...
No.
That's much better. Okay, so we're going to have to start again. We're going to have to start again.
That this is a conspiracy, because they are trying to conspire between Nigeria and South Africa. So.
No, we're starting early for the semi-finals. We're starting early for the semi-finals, because as we know, South Africa is going to win again.
I will be humble. I will just be humble and keep quiet until Saturday. But I do think that Tyler deserved her category at the Grammys. The song, was a global song. I feel like they continue to struggle to accept us on the main stage. So they think that to satisfy themselves, they have to create a category called the African category, because the song she's done, I'm not sure if it has a word of Tosa or anything, or Zulu or anything inside, right? It's purely global English, purely English, And then they loaded the category with people who had songs that had, like, African languages, but still went with the song that was global. She should have been on a global category and won a global, like a normal American. She should have won some American positions.
Yeah.
But they would refuse to accept that. They have to then, create, and the Grammys continue to have the controversies, around their processes. And that's why, Jay-Z finally said what Kanye tried to say many years ago, but because Kanye said it in such a way that people didn't get it. So Jay-Z finally said it doesn't make sense. This woman has the most Grammys. She doesn't have album of the year.
Yeah.
How does that make?
No, I think you make an excellent point, Adebola. And I think I don't know. I think Adebola's frozen again. I think we're gonna have a little bit of trouble today. But we'll keep trying. We'll keep trying, and we'll keep trying to get him back. And just making sure that this conspiracy that is being formed against us is not formed. But I think to the point. Can you see me now? Okay, fantastic. I was saying, to the point that you are making, I think you're 100% right. And we actually, as Africans who are doing work on global stages, we need to speak up against this idea of always being categorized under an African category when we don't have global competition, right?
That's it.
That's it. So this is why I'm so excited that Mentorship Mondays this year is going to be about the spotlight on Africans doing amazing things on global stages. And that's why we started with you. Because if there's an African who is doing amazing thing on global stages, it is you. So I was just introducing you. By the way, I've got reels and reels of questions for you from our community. But I wanted to first just introduce Adebola. So I had the privilege of meeting Ade in 2018. We were in the same tutu class. He rocked up wearing red, the signature brand iconography, as you can see it now. And he just really was a presence in the room, and with such filled the room with African pride, filled the room with such a strong brand and a visibility that for me really stood out. And I've always been intrigued then by your work. I've followed your work. I've seen that you are the go-to person when a president wants to take the office. They call Adebola and they say, Adebola, come and help me brand myself and get this campaign right. So let me check in, brother of mine. Have I got that right? You are the person we call when we want to win at the electoral box.
You're too kind. But yes, our company definitely has led on quite a number of successful presidential elections. Our core mandate is telling stories from the continent, either in the election side or brand nation. So selling a country, selling an idea, behavior change for international organizations and for local organizations looking to build better societies, by influencing behaviors either for girl child education, financial inclusion, youth representation, amongst others. And then also marketing campaigns for companies. And at the heart of our work is to empower young people through current trends. And at the moment, the way the world is going now is driven by the creative economy and by technology. 5 years ago or 6, I gave a speech for President Barack Obama. And I remember the quote that I shared. I said, talent is the currency of this generation. Hope is their weapon. Media is the tool. 7 years on, we've seen how the media has been a tool that has connected the global space to African creativity, hence Tyler, Burner, Whiskey, and so on and so forth, and how young people have continued to be resilient and hopeful, despite, the things they throw at us, like this category. We continue to stand up strong and forge ahead and make our mark, driven by hope, but all because we know we're truly talented. The continent is where the resources are from. We are the motherland. We are the source. The resources in the soil are here. The resources in human beings are here. That is why Canada, Finland, Sweden, the UK, they are all calling on African workforce to come and sustain their dying, aging workforce. And then our talent as well, is said to be the cultural capital of the world. So they're looking to us. So they're looking to bring us into the party, but still on their own terms, because the way it is, they always want to have the upper hand. Like Whiskey said, the legend tweeted today, he He said, the reason why I never tweet about awards is that it's just another man trying to do a show. So people want to do their agenda, they have their agenda, you know. It's up to you to leverage the agenda for your own good. So people are saying, oh, boycott the Grammys. I say no. I say use the Grammys. The Grammys use them equally to achieve what you want to achieve. And that brings us back to the conversation on PR, which is every situation presents an opportunity to build your brand, to tell a story, to leverage for yourself. So I, for example, you find me, in 2014, I began to consciously decide to dress Nigerian. I realized I had a new level of attention. I was on a new stage, and that stage gave me an audience, a global audience. And I thought to myself that I was an ambassador for the continent and an ambassador for Nigeria. So I made a conscious decision that everywhere I went to, I would be my best self. I will put my best foot forward. I will give the best speeches, the best presentation, execute excellently. But I will look Nigerian. I will look African. So when they think about Nigeria, when they think about Africa, they think about my excellence. And my excellence becomes the brand of Africa. The same way people carry the things they see negatively as the brand of Africa. So I like to remind everybody that we are all moving billboards for our continent. We are moving billboards for our countries. We're moving billboards for our generation. Everything you do contributes to the retentive memory of how someone perceives you, and perception provokes action. So based on how they perceive you, that will determine how they receive you, and then how they act towards you. You know, so the Grammys and all of these platforms just gives an opportunity for you to choose to say, how do I leverage to push own message? And that is what branding is about, you know. PR, you know, oftentimes people wonder, you know, what is PR? You know, but I like to simplify it. Personal branding is small actions, deliberately or not deliberately, repeated over a period of time to form a perception. So consistency is key, and that is why if you find me in Champs-Élysées, you find me in Oxford Circus, you find me on Manhattan, anywhere you find me, I'm consistently just like this, because I am feeding into a perception through repeated action. You know, yeah. I'm about to go into the
So
topic.
there's so much you've said there. There's so much. I just want to lift. I love the fact that you remind all of us that we are walking billboards that are a reflection of excellence in Africa. I love the fact that you remind us that perception is what actually drives action, how people perceive you. And it's not just about the way you dress, it's also how you follow through with that excellence, because just looking African is in itself is insufficient. But what does Africa actually represent? And that's the experience you leave people with. So we've got like less than half an hour. So I've got a lot of questions, but I want to go to some of the big ones. Somebody says, Adebola, how it's Matapa Maila. Matapa is saying, how can I be more authentic and less selling? You know how when people try to brand themselves, it feels inauthentic. It feels like you're trying to sell and push a certain image on me, and it's not just a natural expression of yourself. So how have you gotten it right? That when people see you, they just get the sense that this is Adebola. He is not trying to sell me anything.
I think the first thing is to remember the quote that says, the best person to be and the easiest person to be is yourself. So you've got to first find out who you are, what you like, what you enjoy to do. The things that you all see me express are things I enjoy to do, things that I like. And so if you find the things you like, take for example, you're trying to brand yourself as a techie. Do you love technology? If you love technology, then it means that half of the work is done. Because every time you have to speak about technology, your curiosity and love for the sector, for the space, for gadgets has already led you to try to be inquisitive, understand the gadget, which you then come out and talk about. So find where you love. That's one. Two, nosy, there's nothing wrong in actually trying to be something or be someone else. Just be dedicated to doing it consistently. When you do it consistently enough, people will believe you. Truth oftentimes is what is told over and over and over again. There might never be a full acceptance and full believability of any theory in the world. There are people who still have different theories about Christianity, Islam, about how the world was formed, and so on and so forth. So there will always be people who do not believe in something. You just take who you say you are, embody it, be consistent, live it, do it over and over again, and after a while, it becomes...
So let me be difficult. Let me be difficult. A lot of people, in search of who they are, look at somebody else.
Yes.
They look at an Adebola, yes. They look at a Nozipo, they look at Femi Okoye, anyone, and they say, I want to be
yes.
like that. At what point does one arrive at the realization that it is okay to admire a brand, but don't get lost and try to become that other brand? Where does the courage come to say, I admire that, but I'm going to be this?
Okay, I have two answers for you. The first answer is, Nosy, I don't have a problem with someone trying to be somebody else.
Okay.
As long as you can do it well. You see, the reason why some people have become who they become and they've walked through the path, they've cleared the path in the bush, is for others to walk through that path. So if you choose that you want to walk through the path that has been cleared already, do it well. What I would advise you is try to do it better if you can. There's nothing wrong with trying to be the Nigerian opera, the African this. There's nothing wrong. In actual fact, let me tell you something. If you're trying to be that person, but you also have a vision to then go beyond that person, after a while, your brand will be so strong, they will stop calling you the Africa of. They'll start saying, oh, do you know Shola? Do you know Bateng? That's the first answer. The second one is this. This is my cheat code in life. I grew up trying to find my fit and my... So in my journey...
I think I've lost the baller. Okay, say that again. Say that again, the second one.
I grew up trying to find answers. So I left home early, meeting people, trying to understand life. And what I did in that journey was I always took something from everywhere I went to. I see myself as a Voltron. You remember Voltron? Yeah. So remember that for Voltron, they're like this robots, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that they come together and form a Voltron. That's who I am. I'm Voltron. What I do is, when I see someone I admire, when I see a mentor, I look in their life and I pick the value I like and I take it. Because the truth is, sometimes people love a mentor so much, and then the mentor does a human flaw, and they say, oh, I'm so disappointed. No, that mentor owes you nothing. The only thing they owe you is that they've given you an opportunity to have a front view role in their life, to pick the good stuff in their life.
So you pick. Pause. You've dropped in too much wisdom at the same time. So there's two things here that we can't miss. The first one is a new phrase. I'm gonna love it. Push better beyond. So remember those 3 B's. It's okay to follow the pathway that others have crafted through the bush, but be committed to being better, and even better, go beyond the person who created the pathway. We love
you are the conversation strategist.
Listen, I'm selling this model to Oxford and to Harvard. It's the 3 B's, and the 3 B's of branding. But I also like what you said, which is mentors give us a front row seat to their life for us to be able to choose those things that resonate with us, which means that your brand can be a combination of different things that you like from different people, which ultimately makes it uniquely yours as well. So, Palisa is saying, Debola, I understand and I hear you, but what are the things that we seem to keep getting wrong when we think about branding? So what are maybe just give us 3 things that you think, oh my goodness, if, this is a repeat mistake or repeat error that people keep coming with, and I need to get them to understand that this is not what branding is about?
People think branding is magic. People want the brand without doing the work. So you can't get the brand without doing the work. That's the first thing that people do. People also think that being on Instagram and on social media is enough to brand yourself. It's again work. Branding is work. And the final thing, people think it's all about money. So I think the summary of these three things is one thing. People think branding is quick. They think it's just waving a magic wand and it happens. Branding is built consistently over time. In actual fact, nothing that lasts is built fast. So for you to have a lasting brand, you have to spend time rooting the brand. The hardest part of building a brand is when you're rooting. Because you see, if the tree doesn't take root, it cannot bear fruit. So the fruit of building a brand is what you see today. I walk into a room and I don't need to make an introduction. That's one of the things branding does for you. You get to a place and people want to introduce you to the head honcho. A couple of years ago, when you were brandless, when you walk into a room, you'll also be hustling to meet the head honcho. You get to a place now and they automatically think you deserve to meet the head honcho. When you're looking for opportunities, you don't need to talk too much. Your presence is enough to get checks signed out to you. You walk into a building, the security, the receptionist who don't ask you, who are you looking for, keep you at the waiting room, takes you straight to the main reception. So branding is access. Branding is opportunities. Branding is giving you a seat at the table. But for you to get that fruit, all these things are fruits, you must spend time rooting in, drilling in. And the reason why you must drill is for two reasons. One, because if you don't drill, you can't bear fruit, first of all. But secondly, if you don't drill deep enough, and the tree is not solid enough, then it means that your fruit might be short while. So you need to spend time, and that's why this brand that you see today started wearing red and white consistently in 2016. I started in 2015, but consistent in 2016. So this is about 8 going on 9 years now. That's been a long time. And when I started, even if you meet me at the beach, some will call it inappropriate. I will call it sowing my seed, rooting my tree, because I wanted the brand to build fast. But even building it fast, it still took a long time. So 8, 9 years is what we're talking about. And that's fast for me, but that's such a long time, yeah.
So let me pause there. Harvard, Yale, we're giving you another model. Branding is not magic. Branding is not media. Branding is not money. So it's the 3 M's of what branding is not, as we've heard from Adebola. But what I've loved is the emphasis on not only consistency, but the time it takes, the sustainability. Here's the problem, Adebola. Here's the problem. A lot of people are not wanting to put in the work, and they are looking for the quick strategy that's going to get you 100,000 followers overnight. And this idea that things take a long time is just in general, I think there's a lot of pushback. People would even accuse you of saying, "Oh, you're just wanting it to make it hard because you had it the hard way, and you're not giving us the password to the shortcuts." What do you say to young people like that who believe that they can come up with something so smart, so quick, that they can wake up the next day with 1 million followers? And beyond the followers, Debola, because as you said, it's not about followers. It's about access. It's about opportunity. It's about influence. It's about having a voice at the table. How do you get people to actually believe that without the work, there will be no food?
I'm not sure if there's a formula. I think that people will find out by themselves that there's nothing you can do to harvest if you don't plant. It's as simple as that. And planting is about seasons. Planting is tilling the soil, putting in the seed, getting some water, getting some sunshine, getting some manure. Manure is shit. I always tell people shit is good. Shit is manure. It helps you grow. It toughens your skin. It helps you know that there's more to life. It humbles you and helps you stay, balanced. But the end of the day is when people also throw shit on you, it's like it can wash it off. It doesn't define you. But that's the diversion. You see, the young people think life is quick and easy. You should talk to content creators. Those guys work hard. Talk to content creators. They ride in skates, film in skates. They're like, is this going to work? Is it not going to work? Churning out skates. The amount of skis they have to churn out over the time they have to churn out the skates. It's tough. So anyone who doesn't know that hard work is what leads to result hasn't started trying to figure out their life. They're still messing around. So you don't worry about it. I wouldn't worry too much. I would say what I would say, but if they don't accept it, they'll find out. Our parents said many of these things to us. We thought they were just parables. But now, Nosy, I'm sure there are many things you realize that, wow, my mama told me.
Yeah.
And I thought she was joking. So they'll find out. But there's nothing you can build in this life that you want to last, that you don't have to work hard for.
So let's challenge another M, because I really loved your 3 M's. The one that says you don't need money to build a brand, or a brand is not about money. So people might look at, let me use one of my favorite reels of yours that I just saw recently. We were both in at the World Economic Forum. We were both in Davos, but you were the guy who was sitting outside in the snow, clearly at a very expensive hotel, drinking a very special something with a camera, going around you, on a red phone with an iPad on this side. And I looked at that and I was like, that not only takes thought and planning, but there's a little bit of investment that's gone in there. But the point that I'm making is that people often confuse the fact that when they see somebody's social media page and it looks expensive, that actually they cannot build a brand unless they have the same amount of capital at their disposal. What do you say to that, that view in particular?
Good. When I say branding is not money, you need money in some cases, but money without strategy and consistency will not last. You might even be able to, make some noise, but it will fizzle out. We've seen it happen over and over again. At some point, you must pivot money into a consistent strategy. Money is not enough. Until you back that money up with strategy. That's one. And I love the example you've given me today. Hotels in Davos cost about 4,000 Swiss francs a night. Cheap hotels that are not luxurious do about 1,000 francs a night. Hostels about 500 francs, some hostel like 4 of you in a room. The hotel I was in was 349 francs. But it did look expensive. But guess what? It took me an hour's drive in and out. So it took time from me. And then the hire car was about 500 euros. The taxi is about 250 euros in and out. So it was slightly expensive, but not as expensive as what it looked like.
Yeah.
The hotel probably looked like I was spending like 5,000 euros a night. No, it was 350 euros a night. If I put the transportation, maybe let's say it's 800 euros a night. But I had the eye for content.
Yeah.
Got in and I saw that balcony. I thought, wow, this is beautiful. And in the morning, I called my colleague. I said, come, let's make a video. And then I almost finished drinking my tea and was about to get on the call. I said, basically, call me in 2 minutes. Just hold on. Give me that call in 2 minutes. Let me quickly put you in the video as I'm making the call. And so, with my almost finished tea and, the call, we created the video. And so that is because I'm a strategist. I have an eye for content. And so if you have money, you need to have someone who has the eye for content to be able to help you create the kind of content that can, go viral. So, and the final thing I'm going to say on that point is, if you go on TikTok, you see videos of people who are living in shanties and they are going viral on TikTok. Content today is not about money anymore. It is just about culture and trends. It's about understanding where the world is going, what the people are paying attention to, and weaving your message to fit into the current trend. Nigeria began with go grief for anybody in 2024, and everyone who's created content around that know how much traction they've gotten. So it's really all about creating content that ties into the current trends and the culture, because social media is simply about trends. It's such a fickle place, and that's why it's a lot of hard work. You're doing this challenge, then the next challenge, then the next, so you just keep going. It's tough. It's really tough. But I think part of why I really looked forward to this session was because you wanted us to talk about brands that have gone wrong.
Yeah.
So maybe we spend a few minutes, exploring brands that have gone bad. Because really and truly, one of the things I enjoy. I remember working for Mortina many years ago, and I said to them, we had just finished a campaign with a candidate that ran for office 3 times and failed, and then we then came and we branded him. And when we rebranded him, he won the election. So when I got that Mortina pitch, I said, Mortina hasn't done well in the last couple of years. But if you can revive that brand, we can revive your brand. He said, it's true. Immediately they signed our contract and said, let's get to it. This was years ago. So brand got bad. I let you lead on questions anyway.
No, I think I love that, and I do want us to spend some time there because I think there's so much valuable stuff that you're going to share with us there. Let me take Kuto and Christian's questions because I think they're quite important. Kuto saying, Adebola, how do I build my brand for business to business? Because a lot of we always make the assumption that people are building brands, they're building them for B2C, right? Building for individual customers. But he could also say, no, I want to build to attract other businesses. I want to play in a different field. What strategies should Kuto be using?
So for brand building, there's certain rules that work across board. The rules are: 1, market segmentation. Who is your audience? Find your audience. So her audience is not C, her audience is B.
Yeah.
So what I mean is that she needs to map out the B. The next question is, when you find your audience, you then say, where are they? So if you're looking at B, you find where B is. Once you find where they are, the next question is, what do they respond to? What do they like? What gets them? And you see, this part is very important. I like to say to people that B2C, B2B, all of those things don't exist. What exists is H to H, human to human. Because at the end of the day, even the guy in the B2B is a human being.
Yeah.
So the people you're trying to reach are all human beings. It's H to H. So you find out what makes the people in this sector tick. What do they respond to? Is it excellence? Is it capacity? Is it volume? You need to find what is the thing that my supply chain needs to show for this company to respond to it. When you find what it is, then you now go to where they are and exhibit that thing. Sometimes it's through thought leadership, by writing articles. Sometimes it's through joining organizations, bodies. It could be the chambers of commerce. It could be, a CEO of a network of CEOs. It could be LinkedIn. You go to where they are and you take your value proposition to where they are. It's the same thing as marketing to C. All it takes is to find the trends that they're responding to. But because the B2C is so loud, then people get confused and think it's a different strategy. People talk about influencers and say influencer. Listen, before you became a social media influencer, there were influencers in this country. There were influencers on this continent. The market woman is an influencer. She, in actual fact, remains a stronger influencer than you till today. Because if it tells 5,000 market women to do something, they do it. The guy in the garage is an influencer. The guy who controls all the what we call area boys, you know, the mutatus,
Yeah.
or the guy who controls, he's an influencer. The cleric is an influencer. What the imam tells the people in the Friday sermon is what they do. So when we work on behavior change campaigns, we still work with market women, we work with the clerics, we work with the guys to control the garages. So sometimes the younger generation on social media think, oh, influencer. No. Before social media, what has happened is the social media is just a new marketplace. And you have influence in that marketplace. So the H2H strategy means that for whoever you're targeting, be it businesses, government, customers, just find out what do they want, what do they like, what emotion do they respond to, and then create a brand to fit into that.
I absolutely love that, because I think there's a lot of confusion that comes, and fear that comes with the trying to go B2B, and then thinking that you have to change the voice of your narrative. You start sounding formal, you start sounding like a business. And to your point, people just want to connect with other people. It is H to H. And so to the extent that you can keep it authentic and keep it human is what people are going to respond to. So Christian Kojo is saying, and I'm building on Kuto's question, because Christian is saying, okay, Adebola, but how do I convert my followers to customers? Because Christian's like, I'm not here for being for likes and followership. I'm here to sell product or service. So how do I convert my followers to actual customers? What are some of the tips you can give me to do that?
So a direct correlation between influence and perception, hoped to convert to wealth, has spiked the interest in personal branding. Because it's a perception that is money to be made. Now, for you to be able to convert your followers to buyers, customers, would mean that you build authentic relationships. An authentic relationship, number one. Number two, it means that you expose them to your product. And you find ways for them to experience your product. For example, you sell food. You have to ensure that either you sample some of your followers by gifting them food and having them come and testify on how great the food is, or you capture other good comments about your food in other places and bring it to your platform for them to see what people are saying. Now, what I've said to you is basic marketing, product sample, testimonials. It's the same thing. There are principles for converting raving fans to customers. Experiential, testimonial. Testimonials can also even be better when you create a sense of FOMO. Buying. This thing is going. When are you going to buy? You know, people like that sense. You see, people like winning strategies. People like winners. When you understand that you're moving forward, people want to be part of it. People, if you come and just say, oh, you know, we've only sold one today, are you going to buy? You know, people don't have that energy. If you're going to use that emotional blackmail, then you also have to go big with the emotional blackmail. I've seen people do it before. So anything you're doing, you've got to go big. So one, create deep connection with your audience. Two, let your audience trust you. Three, when they trust you, you can make recommendations to them and they will buy. Four, show the experience that this product can create. Five, bring testimonials of people who have used this product and the responses that they have gotten. 6.
I love that.
6. Show them that people are purchasing and that if they don't purchase, they are missing out. 7. Incentivize them with a discount. Last 6 months, answer this question, you get a discount on your. You incentivized your followers because they have been following for so long. Another thing you can do for new followers, okay, this is called the welcome promo. If you just follow me for the first time, I'll give you 5% discount. So those are the strategies. And then don't be shy. Don't shy away from advertising your product on Google ads, on Instagram ads. Put $20, $30 on it. And then the final thing you can do, you can also cross-market your product. You can cross-market your product. So you find someone who has a product that complements your product. You advertise that person's product to your audience and endorse that product. And that person also endorses your product to their audience. And finally, you can also do a joint package to say, if you buy this product, you get this product half price. If you buy that product, you get my product half price. So those are.
So, Adebola, I lost you for the last one, but I heard it's about joint packaging. You buy this one, you get this one half price. So I hope you heard that. It's beautiful, 10 simple strategies to convert your followers to customers, deep connection, trust, recommend products, give people a sense of the experience, leverage testimonials, create a FOMO, create incentives, put some money behind it through advertising, cross-market and collaborate, and joint packaging. So here's the thing, Adebola, we've got 8 minutes left. In the last 8 minutes, and maybe it takes 5 minutes, so I can steal 3 minutes to thank you. But what would you say are the typical things we need to think about when we want to fix our brand? So we've messed it up. We've done all of the wrong things. It's a little bit messy. How does one go take a good brand that's gone bad and take it back to being good? What are some of your strategies? I've got some rain starting, so I hope you can still hear me now, notwithstanding. Go for it.
So maybe you mute yourself so that the rain doesn't come into the I think the first thing is accountability. And accountability can be public or can be private. So it depends on how bad it's gone. If it is publicly gone bad, then you need to be publicly accountable. Accountability is you showing your heart to people and deeply connecting through forgiveness. It's saying, we are sorry, we messed up. There is nothing low about apologizing. People are always afraid to apologize. You see, the apology doesn't bring you down. It's the next steps after the apology that determines if you go up or you come down. So you must have a foolproof strategy on how you want to navigate. In actual fact, the first thing I advise every business and every brand to do is to have a crisis mapping, a crisis strategy before the crisis happens. Do not start looking for an umbrella when the rain comes. Buy your umbrella before the rain comes. Learn how to use your umbrella before the rain comes so that when it comes, you don't fumble. That's the first thing. Number 2, brands must learn to build love with the people. You see, public relations is like a springboard. When you're falling, it bounces you back up. Public relations is a springboard. Building love and deep connection with the people is a springboard. So you pile up the springboard, you pile it up. And then if it's up here and the crisis is coming to you and you get here, because you've built a solid springboard, it pushes you back. If it's here, you might come down a bit, but it still pushes you back up. But if it doesn't exist, you fall down flat. So first, you must build that springboard by creating deep connections with the public through clearly marked out PR strategies. People spend money on marketing, on advertising. They don't spend enough time on building connections. Brand love is why people stick with you through thick and thin. So brands need to begin to think fully about brand love. So accountability, the first one. When you take account, then you act based on taking account and coming out to say, we are sorry, we made a mistake, I am sorry, I slipped. Going forward, we're going to do better. That's the first one. The second thing is lovability. You now need to get that love back. You now need to work in a way where you can connect. And that's why, sometimes you begin to now tell of your good works. If you were caught in something, you can advocate for that thing. If you made a mistake, you can speak a bit, lend your voice to something that turns it around positively. Lovability. In that middle, in that time of lovability, you can also spend time rebranding yourself, reinvigorating, refreshing, renewing your brand. You can change your logo. You can change the wrapper around it. You can do something fresh, something new that connects with the trends of the time. Yeah, and then now build credibility by making sure that people test it and experience it, and it is as good as you say it is. So you need to now build brand believers again. Your brand believers need to go into the market to help you spread the word. Influencers are brand believers sometimes, just that you use money to buy them. Yeah, so you are accountable, you build credibility, you build love. Now, when you've made a mistake as an individual, your strategy might be slightly different from the organization. As an individual, you might want to begin to introduce, thought leadership, content that helps people. Yeah. For a lot of celebrities, the reason why when you're trying to fix an individual brand, you might have to find yourself doing a lot of help is that individual brands are loved because they're supposed to be platforms. They're supposed to be people that help other people, either with their money or with their space. So for an individual brand that has made a mistake, you want to do a lot of direct interventions going forward to tell people, I'm still committed to supporting these causes. But for organizations, you can choose to rebrand, renew, refresh. Now, even for individuals, you can also choose to change your look. You can choose to rebrand yourself in a way, that appeals more to the people. Something else you can also do is a honest interview where you can share the journey of how you got to make that mistake, but also share your emotional stories and vulnerability that connects you to people. So oftentimes, the first step in some cases is to do a powerful interview. If you are gifted enough, some people even go as far as writing books from their crisis. You write a book. In the book, you gain accountability. Remember, it's accountability. The interview is accountability. The book is accountability. But the book gives you more to do. You can go on a book tour. You do a lot of publicity, interviews around the book. You have a reason to reconnect with people through that book. So build emotional connection with the people, build love, be accountable, and build an emotional bank by helping people, either with your money, with your platform, creating content, giving people opportunities. You just must help people, because people reconnect through acts of kindness. So those are some key things that you can do. Now there's a lot more, but for us to do that one, you have to now contact Red Media. Yeah, we will give you a check.
I love that.
But you see,
Always the
something
businessman.
to do though is don't be afraid of the wilderness. in the time of being unpopular with your brand. In actual fact, the wilderness is a precious gift of self-reflection. Don't forget that. It's the time you can actually hear yourself, the time you can hear nature and hear the things around you and recreate yourself. Some of the best strategies you can create is from rock bottom. Rock bottom is a good place to start all over again. It's important, that we know that for sure. You can write a book, you can create your next project. It's your time away from the noise and distraction. You can channel your energy into rebuilding your own self, going to the gym, eating healthy, eating clean, instead of turning to eating dirty, getting fat, and so on and so forth. So your wilderness is a time of opportunity. And I have to say something to people today. When your brand has gone bad, you see, it's not every time, like you cannot do an operation. So if you want to do an operation, you cannot do an operation in front of the audience. So if your brand has gone bad, take it into the wilderness. Go and do the operation and then come out renewed and strong to execute the plans that you discussed in the wilderness. So it's very important that you enjoy that. And then when you're coming out of the wilderness, please come with a clear strategy to resurrect your brand. Don't be afraid to hire strategy. In the time of your wilderness, surround yourself with people that know you well enough to do two things for you. One, the people that can tell you who you were and who you are. Every one of us need friends that can remind us of our power. Friends that can tell you, Nosy, you know you're the best strategist. You know this, you know that. That's one. But also friends that can tell you the truth. Like I said, but you know what? In your return, you have to stop this. You have to change that. You have to reduce this. You cannot come back from the fire and not share. In actual fact, fire is good. Because for every time you're burning in that fire, you die and you birth a new person. Hilda Bassi, the one celebrated Hilda Bassi some months ago, she was dying. She was cooking for 90 something hours, 100 and something. The girl could have died, really died. Every hour she was dying, and the world was celebrating her. But this girl was going to pass out. But guess what? Something died in Hilda Bassi. She moved from maybe 100,000 followers. Wilderness is good. Fire is good. When you have a brand going through a bad path, sometimes it is good. It's giving you attention that you don't get ordinarily. The question is, how do you come back? What is the strategy? And that is when you now need to also, don't be afraid to hire strategists. Spend some of that money. And if you can't, you know what to do? Final point. This is when networking is important. Actually, no. Sorry, the last point. This is when networking is important. Build relationships. Relationships that you can lean on. I tell you, Nosy, there are key people that I must know in my network. I have to know a lawyer. I have to know a doctor. I have to know a PR strategist. I have to know someone in the police. So, like, there are people, you have to have a deck of people you need to know. That when you have crisis in those areas, you can pick up the phone and call those people. It's not funny. This is January. So I'm going to give a nugget to everyone listening. You need to have your relationship map. A relationship map should include people that are important to you in your career or just to give you a sense of security and protection in this life. And then you have to spend time to nurture and build those relationships. We can't talk much about that because that's another conversation on networking, but you should have a network of people that you can depend on. And so if you had a network of people, you had a PR strategist, or if you smart people, you can call them together. Don't be afraid to sit your friends and audit your brand, especially when you're coming back from a bad place. Brand audit is important. Even Jesus, who all of us know, asked his disciples, who do people say I am? That's a brand audit. You must check who do people, if you say you're the best, check to be sure that it's translating, that people really do think you're the best. You might think you're the best, people think we're just managing her, we're just managing him. So it's important that you do your brand audit, take the feedback with thick skin, and go and work on it to be a better person. That is another moment of fire. Brand audit is setting yourself on fire, allowing people to tell you all kinds of things. Then you let some things burn, and then you rebirth. And then the final thing I have to say to you, stick to your plan in times of crisis. If you have a plan on what to do when crisis comes, stick to it. If you chose that you're going to be silent, be silent. Silence is still golden in the world, in today's world where people talk a lot, people yap, 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 yap. Silence is still golden. So if you choose to be silent, stick to that plan. It's like when you go into the MRI, there's a woozy noise, but you must stay, because if you stop and you come out, that's all over again. So you have to bear the heat and the discomfort of the MRI until you come out of it. But you come out either with answers or better man. The only time you change strategy is that something major has happened and you have a professional, just like the MRI, where a doctor now says, you know what, we need to stop this. That's why you change your strategy. But it is just that, oh, our strategy is to be silent, and then you're uncomfortable, the noise, the heat. That is the fire. The fire is going to be better than you. Your downfall is not the strategy. Your downfall is what you do with the strategy. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Amen. Hallelujah. You know, it's not very often where I sit on a Mentorship Monday and I'm just silent and I'm just receiving. I mean, you've given us so many blessings. Go to your wilderness. Sit in your wilderness. Take in your wilderness. Even Jesus came back and did a brand audit and said, who do they say I am? I'm filled, I'm overflowing. Ade, thank you so much. You're absolutely fantastic. I couldn't have started this year with the better conversation. I just want to say to everybody who came in and listened, I hope you are feeling as blessed as I am. I hope you are just overflowing, because you haven't only given us what to think about personally. You've given us stuff to think about our businesses and the things that we're building, and you've given us room to fail. Because when you do fail, it matters how you fail and what you do in your failure, because that's the thing that determines your comeback. All I can say is thank you. See you when is South Africa playing Nigeria? Let's just be clear so that I know when to be watching. I'll see you on the sports field in Abidjan, and I take your humility, but I'm not going to be humble. As South Africans, we are on a roll right now. I have a good feeling about Bafana Bafana at the moment. So I'll see you. I'll send you a text after we win and let you know.
Thank you. I'll be here to console you, my darling sister.
Thank you, Ade. Thank you. You're fantastic. Thank you. Cheers. Bye-bye.